Hello, this is Insane Monster, and this is a new what if. That is, what if Asta was the apostle of Kratos, the god of war? And no, it isn't the reincarnation or his son, it's his apostle. If you don't know what that apostle is, it's more or less someone who acts as a representative of a god. Hmm. So let's begin. Kratos, after all the battles he fought against gods of different mythologies, including his own. Something happened over time. He gained his divinity back and became a god once again. Though, seeing the world godless now, he thought it might be best to keep it that way. So, he went off to other worlds, looking for one that could use a helping hand. Though, he tried to mi- try to minimize his presence there as much as possible so that he wouldn't influence the people of the world that he would find. He never did like the whole thing with gods ruling over mortals. He just felt more like a warrior rather than a ruler. One day he came across a world that had an encroaching darkness that was coming. So he decided to help it. He looked and looked for someone to represent him, a mortal that he can give his blessing to. Though he was dissatisfied from what he found. So all these humans, they were blessed with the gift of magic. And because of that, they let their bodies just stay frail and weak. Where can I find someone to bless with my gifts? Until he came across a young boy who was about 14. Well, a bit over 14. His body was strong, much stronger than any normal human in this world. When he took a closer look, he had no magic, none whatsoever. And yet he was so stubborn and bullheaded that he refused to let that stop him. Kratos took a liking to him and remembered, wait, if he doesn't have magic, then he won't get the grimoires that this world covets so much. Should I make one for him? He ponders the idea of making a grimoire for him as he goes to the grimoire tower under being undetected by anyone there until he found something, a certain sense of darkness coming from the walls. He interacted with it and found the entity, the anti-magic demon. He said, "So, one of you is in the grimoire, though you seem like an odd one. Instead of being able to use magic, your power is to destroy it." Interesting. The anti-magic demon was surprised that someone was able to interact with him like this. He said, "Who are you? What do you want?" Kratos laughed and tells him, "I have someone I want you to go to. Someone that won't be killed by your power, as well as someone I want to represent me, the fighting off an encroaching darkness." The the anti-magic devil smirked and replied with, "Oh, so my kind is moving. And there is someone that you found that can handle my anti-magic?" Who? Kratos replied with, a boy with an incredibly strong body, but he has no magic whatsoever. The anti-magic devil just made a grin wide enough that you could literally say it was going from ear to ear. But he replied, wait, why exactly did you come here and ask me to do this? If he did exist, or if he does, then I would have gone to him anyways if I recognized someone without magic. Kratos replied with, well, I wish to give him my blessings. The word magic devil was confused and asked, blessings? Alright, who the hell are you? Kratos answered him, saying, I am Kratos, the god of war, and I want these items and gifts to be dwelling within the grimoire that you are in. I can see that there is already a sword. Hmm. He examines the sword in this odd mindscape, and he easily figures out what it can do. I see. The blade destroys magic, while the flat reflects it. Quite useful. But I will want to give him two more weapons to add to his arsenal. He sticks out both of his hands, and two weapons come in both of them. In one hand is the Chaos Blades. He described to the devil that the blades should destroy magic the same as the Demon Slayer sword. And the chains that are connected to it and can extend when wrapped around somebody should be able to seal their magic, making it impossible for them to use it. And in the other hand, he held a shield capable of collapsing the for easier usage, and he described, with your power imbued in this shield will absorb the magic, converting it into anti-magic. Hitting the back of the shield will cause the stored up anti-magic to be released as a dark mist. Within this mist, no magic can be performed. If you're wondering about the shield in game, it's a shield in one of the games where when Kratos punches the back of it, it causes a shock wave that blasts the enemies. The anti magic demon was more than willing to take these weapons. If they could, with the powers that they hold, with his power imbued into them, they would be more than useful. Then Kratos said, there is one more thing. The red marks on Kratos' body began to glow, and a copy of his ribbons came floating around him into the magic devil. But instead of the same pattern as Kratos, it was a pattern of the ribbon that would wrap around the, the anti-magic devil's neck twice. And then each end would extend, curling around his arms all the way to his wrists, with it being finished off with the Omega symbol being in, on his chest where his heart would be, glowing bright red. The anti-magic demon said, what is this? What gift is this? Kratos responded with, that is a mark that will give him the power of the Spartan's rage. It will increase his physical strength, durability, and speed dramatically, but only while it's active. When it is, these markings will glow brightly. almost red, blood red color. The anti-magic demon said, "Is that all?" Kratos said, "Yes. I am minimizing my presence here. I'd rather not have to deal with the mortals. They tend to be quite foolish, especially some of the mortals in this world that rule over the countries." The anti-magic demon was not going to argue with him on that. And so Kratos left. As for the grimoire, the five-leaf clover on the grimoire began to glow bright red and grew a sixth leaf. Within the three leaves of the clover dwelled integrity, hope, and love. Within the fourth held good luck. In the fifth dwelled the devil. And in the sixth dwelled the blessing of a god. The Omegas, the six-leaf clover was surrounded by the Omega symbol that imprinted itself on both sides of the grimoire, and on the edges of the book. Red ribbons with a pointed end emerged on it, extending the ribbons would extend from the outer parts of the grimoire to the center where the clover and omega symbol were. And the new and the grimoire was complete now. So we skip ahead. Things for Asta haven't changed much until the grimoire ceremony. When it begins, the anti-magic devil takes a look. He remembers that Kratos showed him an image of the boy that he would go to. When he took a peek, he saw Asta. He just stood there without a grimoire while everyone else had one. The devil said, he wasn't lying. A human completely devoid of magic. A perfect user by anti-magic. And with a swift and very loud boom, his grimoire rushed straight towards Asta through the wall, surprising and scaring everybody. Stopping right in front of Asta. He just looked at it. The odd grimoire with six leaves, an odd symbol surrounding it, and with glowing red marks on it. Asta extended his hand and grabbed it, but the moment he did, a red ribbon came out and marked Asta with the same pattern that Kratos marked the anti-magic devil with, including the Omega symbol over his heart. When when it was done, Asta stood up, his eyes slightly glowing red for a moment, everybody backing away from him in fear of what the hell just happened. Asta was relieved when the power subsided and took a deep breath. He wasn't sure what was going on, but he had his grimoire, which is when he noticed six leaves. He never heard of a six-leaf clover grimoire. And with everybody backing away from him, and many of them just looking away, trying not to catch his attention, Asta just put the grimoire to his side and walked away, wondering what the hell just happened to him. When he looked at his hand, he saw the markings on his forearm. He didn't know what to make of it, but he just kept walking. Same thing happens with Yuno, though. He still gets attacked by the two nobles, and he beats them down pretty good, which is when the chainmate comes. Sorry. And right when he chains them up and said that he was going to steal his four-leaf Clover grimoire and sell it on the black market as an art piece. Asta showed up. He felt an unusual rage, though it wasn't a rage of hate. It wasn't a He wasn't sure what it was, but he charged right towards the chain mage. Obviously, the chain mage attacked him, but before it hit, the markings on Asta, as well as Asta's eyes, began to glow red, and he jumped right over the chain mage, grabbing the chains and breaking them with his bare hands. It didn't take long for it to stop working. His body wasn't used to that kind of increase in power. He wasn't even sure what it was. The chain mates, damn it, what kind of magic are you using? Asta remembered his grimoire and pulled it out. When he opened it, the chain mate saw the six-leaf clover, and he asked, "What the hell? The hell did you do to your grimoire? Or is it like that naturally? Either way, that's a rarer treasure than the four-leaf. I hit the jackpot." From the grimoire, the demon slayer sword appeared, and Asta grabbed it. But something else came out this time. It was the shield. It latched itself onto Asta's forearm in its collapsed form. Then when all Asta did was clench his fist, and it opened up into its full shield form. As for the appearance of the shield and Chaos Blade, they have the same kind of coloring texture kind of thing as the Demon Slayer, Dweller, and Destroyer swords have. Puts the shield up in front of him with the sword ready. The chain mage went for an all-out assault, yelling, "You think a shield is going to protect you from me?" He rushed all the plenty of chains at Austin, directed at the shield with the intent of blowing him back into the wall. But the moment they made contact, they turned the energy and were sucked into the shield. As more magic was sucked into Asta's shield, the shield started to turn black, like pitch black. The more magic that shield absorbs, the more it absorbs. He looks at it, thinking, "What the hell?" The chain mage tries to attack Yuno again, trying to as a distract Asta. But Asta leaps in and cuts it with his sword, destroying the magic. The chain mage yells out, "What the hell are you? You're some kind of monster." He stares him down, moving closer. Then he hears a voice. "Punch the back of the shield." He stabs the sword into the ground, not knowing what he just heard, who said it, and where it came from. But he didn't know anything about these weapons. So he just went with it and punched the back of the shield. The magic that was absorbed and converted into anti-magic within the shield was dispersed as black mist. The chain maid said, "Ha! This is a pathetic smokescreen, kid." He went to attack again, but his magic wasn't working. He couldn't even use it anymore. He said, "What did you do? This mist. It's keeping me from using my magic, isn't it? Damn it." He tried to run and get away, but Asta saw this. He got that same rage built up again, and he blitzed right toward him, the chain mate, striking him with the sword, slamming him into the wall. Like in canon, the chain maze gets arrested and carried off. Asta and Yuno still have their little moment. As for what happened after that, once Asta fell asleep, he had a dream, though it was more like a first meeting. in a dream world kind of state with Kratos. Kratos filled them in that there was an impending darkness. He gave them the tools to help fight it. He explained the Spartan's rage, or wrath, or whatever you want to call it, that had to do with the new red markings on his body. He explained the shield and the chaos blade, saying that they were weapons he used once, and that there is an and that the power of his grimoire is that of anti-magic, as he describing that the, besides the four-leaf clovers of a grimoire that were common knowledge in the Clover Kingdom, the fifth one dwelled a devil, while the sixth dwelled his blessing. Asta replied with, "Blessing? Wait, why do I have your blessing?" Kratos smirked and said, "Well, you have a strong you are strong, and you seem more like a warrior than just about everyone else in this world. Honestly, their weak bodies offended me. The thing is, people with such frail bodies would consider themselves strong because of magic. Pathetic." Though that was Kratos' view. It even made it even more infuriating the way people with strong magic treated those with weak magic. Asta kind of picked up on this and he gets it. Since he doesn't have any magic at all, people always saw him as weak, even though his body was strong enough to do some serious damage to people if he had the chance. When Kratos continued and explained about him being the god of war, that he chose him to be his warrior on this world to fight off the encroaching darkness, though the being that gives him the power of anti-magic has a strong hatred for his own, for the ones that are coming to attack his world. Asta was curious about this, but before he had a chance to answer, Kratos said, "I am. It is about time for me to leave. This will be the last time we meet, unless I deem it necessary. Now then, as for you, make sure you don't die and put those bastards in their place. Show them what you can do. Show them that they were wrong to look down on you. And most of all, do not, I repeat, do not let the enemy that is coming defeat you. Understand?" Asta just said yes, but and then he suddenly woke up. It was morning, and Asta went out to begin his training with his new weapons. Kratos filled him in even on the Demon Slayer sword's capability, the flat being able to reflect magic. Though this would be the last time he talked to Kratos for a while. As for Kratos, he more or less just sat back and watched things unfold. He wanted to see if the mortals could figure out could deal with their own problems, even if he gave them a slight helping hand. That is part one of What If Asta was the Apostle of Kratos. Part one. And that's be it. Uh, Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Uh, Join us on Discord. Hope you enjoyed, and have a good night. Oh, one more thing. Um, Due to some reactions and some very hyped up people, tomorrow I will do the next part of What If Deku had spiral power, or at least I'll try. I mostly do what ifs at my own pace, depending on how I feel and which what if I believe I should throw out there to make things interesting and to draw you all of your attentions toward it, like this one. So please be patient for any what ifs that you want the next parts to, because I do have quite a few that are still yet to come that I want to at least get one part of each out there before I start doing all kinds of parts from them. Sorry for that, Ding, but thank you, enjoy, and have a good night. Later.